Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Keep Your Hash. In this episode we'll be looking at the RTX 2080 Super. We've had a couple of requests for this particular card, so finally we've got around to doing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to test the top 10 settings that we've been able to find online for this particular card, for people that have said that these particular settings have worked well for their card. And we're going to test those settings against this card just to see which of the 10 settings this particular card likes the best. This is a Gigabyte Aorus Elite card. So yeah, without further ado, we're going to use NiceHash as our testing software. And obviously MSI Afterburner is something we use as well. So what I've done is I've created a spreadsheet. If you've seen any of the other videos on any of the other cards, we've done the 3080, the 3070, 3060, and the 2080 Ti. So a very similar thing. So yeah, today's one is on the 2080 Super. Yeah, what we're looking for is the best possible outcome for this card, and you should do the same with your card. Remember, it's not all about the maximum amount of megahash. It's about where your card is most comfortable at, as far as receiving the most amount of accepted shares, because like we've seen in other videos, you don't get paid on megahash, you get paid on accepted shares. So you might find that one particular setting, your card liked one particular setting, it might be slightly less megahash than another setting, but you're actually receiving more accepted shares. So those are the ones to go for. So anyway, without any further ado, let's get on with it. So we're going to open up NiceHash, and once we've done that, we'll go through just a couple of quick settings. So over here we've got our MSI Afterburner. So what we're going to do is let's get this little semicircle here that's just going to reset all the settings back to 0. So we want to be able to have a baseline setting and megahash and watts and all that sort of stuff for the card. So that's basically running at 100% power limit and 0 overclock and 0 core clock and 0 memory clock, which is basically 0 clocking, just to see what we get. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to devices here, and I've got several devices here, so I've turned everything else off and I'm just running the 2080 Super. And then we'll go to benchmark, and we're going to make sure that we're using excavator, and it's testing the Dagger Hashimoto, which is the hash algorithm, which is doing. So we're going to hit the start mining button here, come up with a window. So it's basically going to give us a baseline to work off before we start overclocking. So the first thing we do is to click this button here, the auto button, until it goes grey, and we're going to just change the fan setting to 75. Okay, and apply that one. We'll wait for a couple of rounds just to see. We'll wait for it to start receiving accepted shares. So I've come up with 31.94 at 150 watts with an efficiency of 209. So I'm assuming that that's going to change slightly. So we've got 34.5 using 173 watts with an efficiency of 199 kilohash per watt. So when we go, we're starting to get accepted shares now. So basically, if you haven't watched any of the other videos, what we're trying to do is we're trying to increase the efficiency. So we want to get that up towards the 400 mark. Is anything above 400 is very good. So that's basically, we want to double our efficiency what we're getting at the moment, if possible. We want to head towards any. I mean, if we can get high 300s 370, 380, that would be okay. Much better than what we're getting now. But yeah, the aim is to try and get 400 plus. So we're going to test all of these settings to see whether any one of these settings can get us to above 400 kilohertz. So we're starting to see accepted shares now. So we can write this one in at 35.24 at 167 watts with an efficiency of 207. So as a general rule, I like to see at least five green accepted shares in between each blue reading, which it will do. You give it some time, it will do that. We're starting to see some accepted shares here, which is good. So anyway, let's write this in. So 35.3 at 167. Yeah, which is around the 199 efficiency rating. So these are all the settings that I've been able to dig up online from other users, other YouTube channels, Reddit users, people that have been saying that they have this particular card and this is the settings that they use. So we're going to test all of them tonight. So let's go with the first one. So it's 70 on the power limit, minus 50 on the core, and 1,000 on the memory clock. Let's just open. Okay, so change that one to 70. Minus, what was that one? Minus 50. And 1,000 on the full block. Yeah, 1,000 on the full block. Lock that in, and let's see what sort of change that makes. So we're up to 39.22 now, so we've gone up at 156 watts, which has increased our efficiency to 250, which is definitely better than what we had at 195. So let's write that one in. 39.22 at 156. 156. Okay, the next one is 80, minus 125 and 1,500. Alright, so we're at 38.7 at 193. So you can see these particular settings have actually jumped the power up another 20 watts. It has given us an extra 2 megahash, but it's dropped our efficiency. So that's this card, that's not ideal. So we'll just put those numbers in. So we're 38.7 at 193. So it's dropped our efficiency. Let's try the next one. So 75 minus 200 and 1,500. Got us 41.91, so that's as high as we've been so far. Still getting those nice green shares, which is great. A good indication that your card likes settings is that you're seeing lots of green shares. When you get lots of white without green shares, it probably means it doesn't like it as much. We'll just wait for the next reading. There you go, there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 5 green between the 2 blues. That's 6. There you go, 41.56 at 191. 41.56 at 191. So it's using a fair bit of power, but it is giving us 41.5 megahash. So it really depends on what you're trying to achieve, whether you want the absolute best megahash you can get out of your card, and you don't care about the watts, or whether you're happy to look at something like this and sacrifice 2 megahash to save 40 watts. And remember, we've talked about this in other videos, but the wattage that you save, that's per hour. So this is using 190 watts per hour, and this is 156 watts per hour. So that's not per day, that's per hour. So if you have to time these watts by 24, that's how much this card is using per day. which is a lot of watts. So 40, the difference of 40 watts can be a massive amount for a day, and a week, and a month, and a year. So really, it's up to you. Alright, let's try the next one. So we're dropping to 50 in the power limit, minus 450 and 500. So I would say that's probably going to drop our mega hash a little bit, but we're hoping that that's going to bring our wattage down fairly too. So let's have a look. Again, very happy. 42.79 at 189. Let's write those ones in. Put all the green accepted shares. So that shows us that this card actually really likes this setting. 42.79 at 189. 42.79 at 189. Let's try this one. So 50, 450, and 500. Minus 450 and 500. I expect that should drop to probably 37, 38, but it should also dramatically drop our power. This is probably still adjusting, but that's dropped 3 mega hash. But look at the power, dropped from 180 to 116. And if you look at our efficiency, up to 330. The first time we hit 300. Let's just wait for the next reading. Probably change a bit, but 36 at 123. Let's give it one more round just to settle in. So 36.7 at 127. So we've saved a lot of power from 180 to 190 that we were looking at before, and our efficiency is a lot higher. So I quite like that setting there. So 36.72 at 127. Let's write that in. Go to the next one. 80 minus 200 and 1400. So you can see we've come straight up to 42.14. We've gone back to 190 watts. Our efficiency is up to 220. So again, you can see the difference. There's about 6 mega hash difference there, but we're changing 124 to 190 watts. So it really depends whether you're happy to use the extra wattage for the extra mega hash, or whether you'd like to save some money and be more kind of efficient. But we'll write these numbers in. So 42.11 at 190. Okay, next one is 66, 420, and 1700. So it's obvious that this card doesn't like 1700. That's very high. So at 1500, we're at 36.6, 161, efficiency of 227. 36.6, 121. Oops. 161 is that was. 227. The next one is 80, minus 50, and 1000. Minus 150 and 1000. And we've got so 38.93, using 185 with an efficiency of 209, which is not great. But not getting any greens here, which is not great either. You can see there's big, massive gaps between greens. Probably means it's not that happy with these settings, but we'll write them anyway. 38.93 at 185. The next one is 50, minus 100, and 800. Straight away you can see when we drop the power limit, you can see the power wattage drops, which is good. That's what we want. But it's about maintaining our mega hash, which we are. So 37.4, 131, and an efficiency of 281. Getting closer to 300. Ideally, we'd like to get it above 300, but we'll write this one in at 3704 and 131. We'll try the next one, 70 minus 100, 300. So we're just basically exactly the same, but we're just increasing the power from 50 to 70. So that does. Alright, so we end up at 37.7 at 149, and our efficiency is at 252. We'll write that in, 37.72 at 149. 7.72, 49. Next one is 52 minus 200 and 1350. Go, so 39.52 at 131 watts. We'll hit 300 in the efficiency, so that's looking better. Let's write that in, 39.52 at 131. 39.52, 131. Let's try the next one, just 50 minus 500 and 1500. Minus 500 and 1500. See what that does. At just 124 watts, efficiency of 323, that's our best result we've had so far. So we'll write that one in, 40.34 at 124. 40.34 at 124, which is 325 on the efficiency. Let's try this one, 75, 51,000. $37.78, but we've jumped to 185, and our efficiency has dropped a lot. And you can see we've lost all the green except the share. So I don't think this card likes these settings as much. We'll write it in, 37.78 at 185. Last two, 47, 4 minus 450 and 1175. Straight away you're starting to see more green except the chairs. That shows me that this card likes to operate with less power limit. You can see, look at all the green shares coming in straight away. That's 37.45, 118 watts at 315 kilohash. Just leave it, let it keep going. Lots of green, which is fantastic to see. It's okay to get the occasional red as long as it's followed by a green, that's okay. Yeah, lots of green except the shares now. And we'll call that at 37.9, 118. Look at all these shares, beautiful, love seeing them. I think that for this card, this is the best setting that I've seen so far. That's amazing. 37.9 and 118. Gives us an efficiency of 321, which today is very close to this one here. So with this one, you're looking at another 3 mega hash, and you're using another 6 watts, which would make sense. But I just like the fact that this particular one, this card is accepting so many shares than it was with this one. So I'm quite happy to give up that extra 3 mega hash for the sake of, I think this card is happier with these settings. So let's keep going. The last one, which is 47 minus 380 and 1220. Minus 380 and 1220. And we're at 115, but you can see all the green shares have gone. So it has increased our efficiency, but we're not getting accepted shares, which is the most important thing. So I think this card probably prefers the other settings, but we'll write it in 38.57 and 115. Alright, and so as you can see, we go by the efficiency. That last one that we did by the numbers is best. We're using 115 watts, we're getting 38.57 at an efficiency of 335. However, I feel personally that this one, which one was it? This one here. No, this one here. I was getting a lot of green shares, 50 shares. With that 47 minus 1175. Though the mega hash is less, one mega hash less, my card I think my card definitely prefers those settings. So that's what it's really about, just finding where your card is happy and it's accepting the most amount of accepted shares. And going with that. So this is the end of the video. I hope you got something out of this. I would really love a subscribe and a like, share, and all that sort of stuff. It really helps support the channel, and we'll be definitely checking out some other cards. We'll probably end up doing the 2070 Super next. Had a couple of requests for that, but the main request we had was for the 2080 Super, so we got our hands on one of those and did that. Yeah, really wish you luck with your card. If you are able to get better results with different settings, please leave a comment for all of us to see and trial out. Yeah, I hope you've got something out of this video, and make sure you use all the settings on your card, and don't just test it for 1 minute. Test it for an hour each one, a day, a week, and see which one your card likes, and go with that. But yeah, wish you all the best, and we'll catch you in the next one.